Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon. Welcome to another exciting episode of Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Kasir, and you are tuned into Planet FM 87.6. Every Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 2, we dive deep into the world of literature, art, music, mind sciences, and much more. So today it's a special edition, and today, as the world celebrates World Teachers Day, we pause to honor the mentors, guides, and educators who shape our minds and stir our souls. But not all teachers stand at podiums. Some teach through verses, some through ideas, and some through the courage of their work. World Teachers Day has been celebrated annually on 5th of October since 1994, marking the anniversary of the adoption of the UNESCO ILO recommendation concerning the status of teachers, which sets benchmarks regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers worldwide. So we pay tribute to all our teachers on this special day, World Teachers Day, on 5th of October every year. Today I'll take you on a journey through the rich world of three great poets of Urdu and Persian, and they are Mirza Asadullah Khan Ghalib, Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, and Faiz Ahmad Faiz. But with a twist, we'll explore their English translations, examine how meaning shifts, and hear some music also, and we'll see that how they have been translated and how essence are carried in translations. These translations are fascinating windows. We'll talk about their translations and how faithfully which metaphors are hard to carry, and also listen to some wonderful tracks. So we'll back after this lovely track.
Leaden winter would bring you down forever, but you rode upon a steamer to the violence of the sun.
Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Kasir, and today we'll be discussing some of the translated works of Ghalib, Iqbal, and Faiz. On this day of reflection and gratitude to the teachers, we turn to three such eternal teachers, not in the classrooms, but in the canon of world literature. Mirza Ghalib, Allama Iqbal, and Faiz Ahmad Faiz. Through their poetry, they taught us to question, to dream, to resist, and to feel. But how do their words travel across time and language? So we'll be exploring seminal works of Ghalib, Iqbal, and Faiz as translated into English. By the way, when we hear these names, Ghalib, Iqbal, or Faiz, something stirs in us. A verse comes to our mind, a memory, or just a couplet. But today we'll go deeper into their translations, and I have selected a few translations, though their works have been translated a lot, but I have selected a few translations, and we'll be beginning with Ghalib, of course, first. And these three poets are considered the three greatest poets when we talk about different eras, although they belong to different eras, but their legacy continues, and they are considered the premium poets of their times and the times yet to come. So let's begin with Mirza Asadullah Khan Ghalib. He was born in 1797 and he passed away in 1869. He is one of the most celebrated Urdu and Persian poet. His ghazals, his philosophical learnings, his emotional intensity and subtle irony have made him timeless, and he is often considered the greatest Urdu poet alongside Mir Taqi Mir. Diwan-e Ghalib is one of the most read and most translated poetry book, and translating Ghalib is famously challenging. Scholars often point out his layered metaphors, ambiguous pronouns, Persian allusions, and multiple possible readings of the same line. For instance, there have been so many couplets I'll be sharing with you, but as M. Shahid Alam, he has translated works of Ghalib and in Intimations of Ghalib, and also Yusuf Hassan Khan. He had translated Diwan-e Ghalib in 1997. That was published by the Ghalib Institute in 1977. We have translations of Sarfaraz K. Niazi also in his love sonnets of Ghalib, and there have been many other translations also. So we'll start with one of his famous couplet, and in Urdu it's आह को चाहिए एक उम्र असर होने तक कौन जीता है तेरी जुल्फ के सर होने तक. And now look at the this translation by Michael R. Birch. He has translated this couplet as: a lifetime of sighs scarcely reveals its effect, yet how impatiently I wait for you to untangle your hair. So you see that the tension, a lifetime, effect, waiting, and the original couplet carries echoes of asar, effect, that hair, locks, zulf, and sar, head. And the translators all the translators, they have to in fact choose whether to literalize or to poetize. So this is the basic question that arises in the translator's mind while translating any of the poetry or any other work. But in poetry it's more so, because when a poet creates a couplet or a poem or a ghazal, he puts his imagination into any particular language. For instance, we are talking about Ghalib. So Ghalib's Persian, his Persian poetry, or his Urdu poems or couplets, his Urdu poetry, Ghalib, his diction, his style, that is in Urdu. But if someone wants to translate into English, he will have this question in his mind, that whether it is to literalize or to poetize. So, and the translators have usually done both of these, and they have tried translating Ghalib or Iqbal or Faiz, and we will discuss such more couplets right after this track. Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Kasir on Planet FM 87.6. You can catch us live on www.radio.gov.pk/live-streaming. And today we are discussing on this World's Teachers' Day. We are discussing the translations of three of the greatest Urdu and Persian poets, Ghalib, Iqbal and Faiz. So in the start I was mentioning that the translations have to be seen in a way that the translator, what is the translator's mindset while translating works of any of the poet. So as I mentioned, that whether to literalize or to poetize, this is the main question. Let's look at a translated couplet of Ghalib, and this translation is also from Michael R. Birch, and he has translated one of the famous, all the couplets of Ghalib are famous, and he says that in death Ghalib lay uncoffined, unwashed. May God bless the man, he dared to be free. So the Urdu couplet says, Ye लाश बेकफन असद खस्ता जां की है, हक मग़फ़रत करे अजब आज़ाद मर्द था. So you see that in the translation it sounds more of that literal meanings, that uncoffined, unwashed, and he dared to be free. So it's beautiful. It evokes that imagery, pulling that devotional registers, and it's lovely translations by him. And we'll see another of Ghalib's couplet translated. This is also translated by Michael R. Birch, and there's a famous couplet also, हज़ारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले, बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले. So how beautifully he has translated this. 10,000 desires, each one worth dying for, so many fulfilled, and yet still I yearn for more. So this is a translation, and there's another beautiful couplet. It says, being in love, for me there was no difference between living and dying. Being in love, for me there was no difference between living and dying, and so I lived each dying breath watching you, my lovely infidel sighing. मोहब्बत में नहीं है फ़र्क जीने और मरने का, उसी को देख कर जीते हैं जिस काफिर पे दम निकले. So this was the couplet, and beautifully translated by Michael R. Birch. So we see that there the translations in most of the translated couplets, you will see that the translators have tried to put their words in the original, and to just to capture that essence of the original couplet. Here is another couplet, आशिकी सब्र तलब और तमन्ना बेताब, दिल का क्या रंग करूं खूने जिगर होने तक. And look how beautifully it has been translated by Michael R. Birch. He says that love requires patience while passion races. Must my heart bleed constantly before it expires? So this is how the translations are. A translator is his role is extremely important in conveying the original message and the essence of the couplet. And we saw in these translations that how nicely they have translated the original couplets into translated ones. And we'll be discussing Faiz Sahab and Allama Iqbal's couplets also, but couplets of Ghalib are so Let's first go through the couplets of Ghalib. There is another famous couplet, निकलना खुल से आदम का सुनते आए हैं लेकिन बहुत बेआबरू होकर तेरे कूचे से हम निकले. And the translation says, we have often heard of Adam's banishment from Eden, but with far greater humiliation I abandon your garden. So this translation gives us the flavor and gives us that essence that is there in the original couplet, and we see that the translation is also equally lovely when we read this translation. And so this is how a translation is interpreted. And there is another couplet, my face lights up whenever I see my lover. Now she thinks my illness has been cured. So you must have you must know the couplet. It's a very famous couplet. उनके देखे से जो आ जाती है मुंह पर रौनक, वो समझते हैं कि बीमार का हाल अच्छा है. So we'll go through, and this translation was also by Michael R. Birch. He has translated Ghalib beautifully, and we'll be discussing more of the translated works of these three great Urdu and Persian poets, Ghalib, Iqbal and Faiz, after this lovely track.
How could this be anything else? When all I dream of is your eyes, all I long for is your touch.
Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Qasir from Planet FM 87.6, and we are discussing the translated works of three of the greatest Urdu poets, Ghalib, Iqbal and Faiz Ahmad Faiz Sahab. And just look at another beautiful translation of Ghalib's couplet. While you may not ignore me, I'll be ashes before you understand me. हमने माना कि तगाफुल न करोगे लेकिन खाक हो जाएंगे हम तुमको खबर होने तक. So this couplet is beautifully translated by Michael R. Birch, and it's so beautiful that I would like to repeat it. While you may not ignore me, I'll be ashes before you understand me. So another of Ghalib's couplet, there is no cure for passion, Ghalib. It's the fire that ignited won't burn and extinguished refuses to die. इश्क पर जोर नहीं है ये वो आतिश गालिब जो लगाए न लगे और बुझाए न बने. And there is another beautiful couplet. Where does one plant the second footstep of longing, Lord, when the first found an infinite desert? है कहाँ तमन्ना का दूसरा कदम यारब, हमने दश्त इम्कां को एक नक्शे पा पाया. And so there have been so beautifully translated by Michael R. Birch. And there is another beautiful ग़ज़ल of Ghalib. इश्क से तबीयत ने ज़ीस्त का मज़ा पाया, दर्द की दवा पाई, दर्द बेदवा पाया. Thanks to passion, I developed a taste for life, but seeking a cure for pain, I found pain beyond cure. So this translation is also from Michael R. Birch, and this is such a beautiful translation of this lovely couplet of Ghalib. So listeners, you see that the translations, although they have that essence, but to understand a translation, one must have the understanding of both the languages. If you are reading Ghalib's translated works from Urdu to English or from Persian to English or Urdu, so we should we should know, we should understand, in fact, the flavors of both the languages. It's only then we can understand that better, and we can rather enjoy that translation or the works. So it's always recommended to go for the original work also while reading a translation, if you know that language, and if you want to enjoy the translation. As I shared a few of Ghalib's beautiful couplets, and most of them are translated very beautifully by Michael R. Birch, and you see that the translations give you another flavor, but of the same essence. If you are aware of that same couplet, if you enjoy the couplet, if you have gone through the original works, only then you can enjoy the translation, and then you can see the difference and see that how has the translator translated the work, and the essence, is that carried forward in that translated work or not. So we'll be discussing more of Ghalib's works and Iqbal and Faiz's translated works after this lovely track.
Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there.
Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Kasir from Planet FM 87.6, and today we are discussing the translated works of Ghalib, Iqbal and Faiz Ahmad Faiz Sahab. And the translations I shared most of the translations were from Michael R. Birch, and a few of my favorite couplets of Ghalib. There is a translation: although there are other excellent poets, they say Ghalib excels them. So this is one of the most famous couplets, and as they say in Urdu, Maqta, the couplet in which the poet uses his pen name, Takhallus. And the original couplet is: हैं और भी दुनिया में सुखनवर बहुत अच्छे, कहते हैं कि गालिब का है अंदाज़े बयां और. Although there are other excellent poets, they say Ghalib excels them. So it's a wonderful translation, also from Michael R. Birch. And there's another translation in Urdu. The couplet says: ये न थी हमारी किस्मत के विसाल यार होता, अगर और जीते रहते यही इंतज़ार होता. And look at the translation now. Alas, union with her was not my destiny. Our life together would only have meant more procrastination. So you see that the translation, and I'll be sharing another translation of this very couplet, and this translation is different from the first one. And look at now that the same couplet is translated by two different translators, and both of them have carried forward that essence of the original couplet, but look how differently they have translated. The other translation says, to meet my beloved was not in my fate. Had longer I lived, it would have been more in weight. So in Urdu we say manzoom tarjama. So this is also that rhymes and rhythm and meter is there in this translation. It's equally poetic, and it carries the literal meaning of the couplet. So this translation is also beautifully done, and the previous translation from Michael R. Birch of Ghalib's famous couplet. So this tells us that translation is, everyone translates, the translators, they put their own thoughts and their vocabulary, their choice of words, and they also try to keep that original essence there. And that is the main point that we are discussing today, that while translating especially poetry, this is the primary objective and the primary responsibility of the translator to keep that essence there, otherwise it won't be of any use. And there is another beautiful couplet, हस्ती के मत फरेब में आ जाइयो असद, आलम तमाम हल्क़े दामे ख़याल है. And now the translation from Michael R. Birch says, don't fall for the illusion of existence, Asad, when our world's one link in the chain of thought. So, Alam tamam halqaye dame khayal hai, when our world's one link in the chain of thought. So look how beautifully, and when we go through the translation, it seems that it has been done with so much ease. However, it's only the translator, they know that how difficult it is to translate someone like Ghalib and someone of the caliber of Iqbal or Faiz. We'll discuss their translations also, and we will come after this short break. Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Qasir from Mind and Muse, Planet FM 87.6, and today we are discussing the works translated or translations of Ghalib, Iqbal and Faiz Ahmad Faiz. And before the news break, we discussed a few of Ghalib's translated couplets, and now we'll be discussing about Allama Iqbal. And we all know that he is regarded as the poet of the East, known for his profound philosophical and spiritual insights. Iqbal's poetry has inspired generations with its powerful themes of self-discovery, love and empowerment. From Bange Dara to Zarbe Kalim, his works continue to captivate and inspire audiences with their timeless wisdom and beauty. And his poetry is deeply philosophical in tone, and he wrote primarily in Persian and Urdu, and his most of his poetry reflect selfhood, khudi, and then he community related to ummah. And translating Iqbal is complex for any of the translator because it interweaves Islamic philosophy and motifs drawn from Quran, Persian Sufi imagery and modern political concerns. Iqbal's era, as we all know, he was born in 1877 and he passed away in 1938. So, and in that time he wrote all his poetry, which we consider one of the greatest poetry available in Urdu and also in Persian. And among the known translators are Khaja Tariq Mahmood, who has translated selections of Iqbal's poetry, and there are other translators also who have translated Iqbal's works. And I'll be sharing a poem translated by Khaja Tariq Mahmood, and the translation says, "You alone are with me when I am alone. You are beside me when I am beside myself. You are as close to me as everyone else is afar. You are so close to me that no one else ever can be." So this is a translation of one of Iqbal's poems. The original poem, however, is more layered, and the translation that seems a bit simpler than the original work, and the mirror images and in English is in attempt to echo the symmetry of the original lines. In Urdu, Iqbal might use words like tum, saath, kareeb, dur, but when we see the translations, there's a much more smoother and readable English, because there is always difference in translating from one language to another. And another idea of that, Iqbal's famous Shikwa and Jawab-e-Shikwa, his complaint and God's answer, these poems have been translated in multiple anthologies. The version used often is by a collaborative team of Urdu scholars and English poets, and some anthologies omit the Persian stanzas in these poems. So there have been a lot of works of Iqbal. The translations are also available, and one of his famous poem is, I'll be sharing this with my listeners. The title is Ahde Tifli, one of Iqbal's famous poems. थे दियारे नौ ज़मीन व आसमां मेरे लिए, वुसअत आगोश मादर एक जहां मेरे लिए. And now look at the translation. This translation says, and this translation is also by Michael R. Birch, which we discussed in. He has translated Ghalib's works and also of a lot of Iqbal's works. So he has translated this poem as, the earth and the heavens remained unknown to me. My mother's bosom was my only world. Her embraces communicated life's joys, while I babbled meaningless sounds. During my infancy, if someone alarmed me, the clank of the door chain consoled me. At night, I observed the moon, following its flight through distant clouds. By day, I pondered Earth's terrain, only to be surprised by convenient explanations. My eyes ingested light, my lips sought speech. I was curiosity incarnate. So this is a poem beautifully translated by Michael R. Birch, and the original poem that is titled Ahde Tifli. थे दियारे नौ ज़मीन व आसमां मेरे लिए, वुसअत आगोश मादर एक जहां mere liye. So this poem is very beautifully translated by Michael R. Birch. And there is another poem. The translation says, what shall I call you but the nightingale's desire? The morning breeze was your nativity, an afternoon garden. So this is how Iqbal has been translated, and Iqbal's works we can find so many other translations. And there is another beautiful the translation that says the poem is life advice, and the couplet is, this passive nature will not allow you to survive. If you want to live, raise a storm. And there is another couplet that is also translated by Michael R. Birch. It says, isn't failure to complain about God's will when you are your own destiny? So listeners, Iqbal's work, people consider that they find it a bit difficult in understanding because it is layered and it's deep in understanding its deep thoughts. And Iqbal has, whether it's his Urdu kalam or it's his Persian poetry, one has to be at least aware enough of, one should have as much knowledge of the language before reading Iqbal's Urdu or Persian poetry, and once we talk about the translations, first we should be aware of and we should know the actual work of the poet, especially when we are talking about a poet of Iqbal's caliber. So once we must know the exact meaning of Iqbal's Urdu kalam, and only then we'll be able to understand or to enjoy the translated works of Iqbal. We'll talk more on Iqbal's translations, also on Faiz Ahmad Faiz Saab's translation right after this track.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping.
Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Kasir from Planet FM 87.6, and today we are discussing the translated works of Ghalib Iqbal and Faiz Ahmad Faiz. And before the break, we discussed Ghalib's couplets and also Iqbal's poems translated by various translators. And Iqbal's famous Asrar-e-Khudi, that is Persian book, and The Secrets of Self, that is translated by Reynold A. Nicholson. So I'll be sharing a few of the couplets from that as well. And the translated version says, when the world illumining sun rushed upon night like a, my weeping bedded the face of rose, my tears washed away sleep from the eyes, my passion wakened the grass and made it grow. In the soil he planted only the seed of my tears, and wove my lament with the garden as wrap and woof. So these were a few couplets from The Secrets of Self, translated by Reynold A. Nicholson. And now there is another famous poem that is translated by Michael R. Birch. It says, this is from Ramooz-e Bekhudi, and this it goes like a candle fending off the night, I consumed myself, melting into tears. I spent myself to create more light, more beauty and joy for my peers. So listeners, look how beautifully this poem is translated by, this has been translated by Michael R. Birch. He had translated Ghalib also, and we discussed a few of his translated couplets of Ghalib, and now Iqbal, who is an altogether different poet than Ghalib. They have different styles, they have different vocabulary, but the translator Michael R. Birch, he has translated both of these poets very beautifully. And as far as the translations are concerned, as I mentioned earlier, that there have been so many other translations available of these poets, and we can go through the translations only once we have gone through the original works. So now I would move on to our third poet of this series of this of our discussion today, Faiz Ahmad Faiz, and he has also been translated by this translator Michael R. Birch, and he has translated Faiz Sahab also very beautifully, and he has translated almost all of his major and his famous works. Faiz Sahab's all of his works are famous, and we have gone through the works of Faiz Sahab. For instance, one of his iconic poems, Bol ke lab azad hain tere, and now most of the listeners must have listened to this Urdu poem. It has been sung beautifully for PTV also, and this poem is referred a lot बोल के लब आज़ाद हैं तेरे. And now look at the translation by Michael R. Birch. Speak while your lips are still free. Speak while your tongue remains yours. Speak while you are still standing upright. Speak while your spirit has force. See how in the bright sparking forge cunning flames set dull in God's aglow, and as the padlocks release their clenched grip on the severed chains hissing below, speak in this last brief hour before the bold tongue lies dead. So this poem, we know the poem, we have listened, we have read this so many times, and we know that there is a strong message in this poem. And when we go through the translation, we see that the translation is equally beautiful and powerful, and the message and the essence of that original poem, we can feel that in the translated version of this poem. And then there is another famous poem, Dashte Tanhai mein Ae Jaane Jahan Larza Hain. So that is also been translated, and that is performed by Iqbal Bano for PTV, this poem. And the translation is also from Michael R. Birch. And now look at the translation, that in the wastelands of solitude, my love, the echoes of your voice quiver. So this, in the when we go through such remarkable works, when we know the poems, and it becomes a hard task for the translator when they know that they are translating the works of literary giants like Ghalib or Iqbal or Faiz, because their works are known to so many people and known to masses, and people have memorized their works. So whenever they come through the translations, they always, and this is absolutely natural, that whenever we come across any of the translated work, we somehow try to compare that work with the original one. And that is also a fact, a known fact, that no translation can ever be like the original work, but it only tells us the class and tells us the caliber of the original work. And the translations are somehow the windows which are open towards those original classic works. So a translator's basic job is to give you a flavor, and it's give you a flavor of the original work. He only introduces you to the beauty that is there in the original works, and that is how we can only relate to the translation. And this is how we should be reading translations, because translators, they have their own limitations while translating. As I mentioned in the start, in my intro, that they have always a basic question in front of them, that do they need to go for a literal translation or a poetic one, and taking that essence from the original language to the translated language, and having that essence, it's not an easy stuff. So we should give full marks to the translators who, knowing this fact, they translate. And when we talk about the poets like Ghalib and Iqbal and Faiz, their works are absolutely brilliant, and the translations must also have at least some element of that class must be there. And when we come across their translations, we see that most of the translators, most of the translated works we come across, they have tried their level best to keep that original essence in their translated works. So we will be discussing more of the translations of these poets right after this track. Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Imad Kasir from Planet FM 87.6, and we are discussing today the great three poets Ghalib, Iqbal and Faiz, and their translated English works, their works that has been translated in English. So we discussed, we shared in fact some beautiful couplets of Ghalib, and we have gone through some beautiful poems of Iqbal, and now we spoke about Faiz Ahmad Faiz Sahab, and I would be sharing one of his most iconic and one of the most popular poem which has beautifully been sung by Noor Jahan, Mujhse Pehli Si Muhabbat Mere Mehboob Na Mang. So this beautiful poem is translated by Michael R. Birch. I am sure that most of our listeners, they have the lines of this beautiful poems already in their minds, those Urdu lines of this lovely poem. But now listen to this translation and enjoy. It says, do not ask, do not ask, do not ask my love for the love that we shared before. You existed, I told myself, so existence shone. For a moment, the only light that I knew alone was yours. Worldly griefs remained dark, distant, afar. Spring shone as revealed in your face, but what did I know? Beyond your bright eyes, what delights could the sad world hold? Had I won you, cruel fate would have ceded, no longer bold. Yet all this was not to be, though I wished it so. The world knows sorrows beyond love's brief dreams betrayed, and pleasures beyond all sweet ideals of romance. The dread dark spell of countless centuries and chance is woven with silk and satin and gold brocade. Bodies are sold everywhere for a pittance, it's true, besmeared with dirt and bathed in bright oceans of blood, crawling from infested ovens. My gaze returns to you. What else can I do? Your beauty haunts me still and will to the last, but the world is burdened by sorrows beyond those of love. by pleasures beyond romance. So please do not demand a love that is over and past. So listeners, look how beautifully this poem has been translated by Michael R. Birch, and we feel and we experience while going through the lines of this English translation that the essence of that original poem from of Faiz Sahab, that remains there. We can still enjoy its beauty while going through the lines, and it has this lovely flow of this poem. And when we just go through the title in Urdu also, so it reminds us of that how beautifully that has been sung by Madam Noor Jahan. And if we only read it, so we can feel the beauty of this of Faiz Sahab's thought that flows through this poem. And now, while going through the English translation, our minds usually our minds, when we are used to something, anything, and especially if it's a piece of literature and we are used to it. For instance, if we listen to a song that is originally sung by some singer and someone else sings it, so we start comparing both the new version and the old, the remixes, for instance. Similarly, when we go through a translation, we simply, our mind in fact starts comparing the two versions. But here it's the language that makes the difference, because the original work of any of the poet, as we are discussing, may it be Ghalib or Iqbal or Faiz, the original works are in Urdu or in Persian, and if the works are translated into English, so we have to keep this in our minds, that while translating into another language, it somehow loses the essence. But as I was mentioning earlier, that the translators have done justice to the most of the translated works, because translating Ghalib, Iqbal or Faiz is not an easy task. Their poetry, their vocabulary, their thoughts, their philosophy, it all has so much layers, and the creativity, the beauty of their couplets, that is always there in their original works. And while translating it in another language, it is a hard task. But translators like Michael R. Birch, we are referring to his translations more in this show, so he has done justice to the works. And look how beautifully he has translated this beautiful poem, Mujhse Pehli Si Mohabbat Meri Mehboob Na Mang. So we'll be discussing more right after this lovely track.
Would you know my name if I saw you in heaven?
Welcome back to Mind and Muse. This is your RJ Mat Kasir from Planet 87.6, FM 87.6, and we are discussing the translated works of Ghalib, Iqbal and Faiz. Faiz Sahab says in Urdu, रात यूं दिल में तेरी खोई हुई याद आई, जैसे वीराने में चुपके से बाहर आ जाए, जैसे सहरा में हौले से चले बादे नसीम, जैसे बीमार को बेवजह करार आ जाए. And now look at the translation. Last night your lost memories crept into my heart, as spring arrives secretly into a barren garden, as a cool morning breeze blows slowly in a desert, as a sick person feels well for no reason. So now the translations we see, the translators have they have put their heart into the translations. They have tried their level best for the translations, and we feel that the essence is there while we talk about the translations, as we are discussing right from the start of this program, the translations and the translated works, especially poets like Ghalib and Iqbal and Faiz. Their poetry is not that easy to be for the translations. And there is a short translation by Shoaib Hashmi, a version of Faiz's poem, and we see the translation is that we shall see the day when not one blade of grass trembles in fear under that tyrant's foot. Now we see that the translations, even in translations like not one blade of grass trembles, carry imagery of nature, fear, but the original Urdu might have stronger allusions of Quranic verses or political slogans. So this, as we are discussing, that all these things have to be kept in mind, and the overall that the philosophy or the style or the genre of the poet, that is also very significant while translating, because the poetry, when we see all these three classic and three greatest poets of Urdu, their styles are different from each other. So if the same translator is translating the different works from these poets, he will have to keep all these things in mind. Like for instance, we see Ghalib's poetry is inward, metaphysical, personal sorrow is there, paradox, ambiguity. And Iqbal, his poetry is more philosophical, spiritual. We see idealism there, nation building, and that Khudi, that Faiz is more towards that social justice, political resistance, and also romantic longing. So all these classic poets have their different style, which has to be kept in mind while translating. And in translation we see choices whether to stick closer to literal meaning or to render more freely. And there have been different strategies, like for instance literal translations, poetic paraphrasing, or hybrid. And another issue the translators find in translating is the rhyme and meter. English poetic forms differ. In Urdu, in ghazals, we have kafiya and radif, but the English poetry, they have different kind of meters, and the poetic forms are differ. Many translators abandon rhyme or meter to prioritize meaning or flow, and that can lose the musicality or that essence of that ghazal tradition when we talk about ghazal especially. And similarly, the cultural or religious allusions that we find in our classic poetry, for instance, that reference to Quranic ayah and Sufi or Persian Islamic history are often compressed or adapted or sometimes lost. So it's always good for a translator to have that translator's note at the bottom of the translation. And finally, multiple translations of the same poem can reveal how different readers interpret metaphors, and this is really very interesting to go through, and that is how we can enjoy, and we can simply see, and we can differentiate among different translators who we find on the internet also, and there's so many books available of these translations. So listeners, this was a special show in which we discussed the translated works of Ghalib and Iqbal and Faiz Ahmad Faiz, and we their legacy is beyond time and beyond languages. We saw that most of the translations we discussed in the program were they had that essence of the original works, but as I mentioned earlier that no translation can match the original or actual work, because that is the original work is always primary, and that is way too ahead of the translation. A translator at the end of the day is only translating the word, and he has to keep himself to the limited to the concept or the theory or the philosophy of that poet, and that is something, and that is something that makes the translator's work difficult also, that he has to remain in that certain parameter, and he has to also take care of the poetic technicalities also, and again the question is always in front of him that whether to go for a poetic version or a literal version. So that wraps up our special program on the translation of Ghalib Iqbal and Faiz, and we hope you have enjoyed this poetic journey through the works of these literary giants. So their works and their words continue to inspire, motivate and challenge us to think differently. And with this our show comes to an end, and till next time, this is Imad Qasir signing off from Mind and Muse, Planet FM 87.6. Allah Hafiz.